I hear a lot of things that's happening across the internet, or people send me a lot of emails that kind of basically detail what they think makes the most sense from a relationship perspective, from a financial perspective. And it's all interconnected. You can't really have one without the other. As a matter of fact, I would go so far as to say how it is that you deal with women often at times is a reflection of what your life is like from a financial perspective, and even looking at things from a business perspective, right? So, for example, if you are a person that is confident and you feel absolutely comfortable moving around women, then you should feel comfortable cold calling, approaching people, setting one-on-ones, interacting in corporate America, expanding your business. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult at all. But let me back up for a minute, because the biggest thing of the week is Ebony Williams with the bus driver conversation, which I don't even know who Ebony Williams or Ebony K or whatever her name is. I don't even know who this chick is. And then Steve Harvey and Shannon Sharp simping out. Steve Harvey and Shannon Sharp simping out. Now, there's a lot of women that's on social media, especially on Instagram and TikTok. Y'all are some angry banshees. Y'all are some hyenas. Um, it's crazy how triggered women get at the truth. If I say, similar to what I said yesterday, not yesterday, last week when I was in the Dominican Republic, if I sit here and I say, well, listen, why should men value you in the same way that they value women of yesteryear, based off of the idea that you out here having as many bodies as you want, and then a man is supposed to pick up the pieces at the end of the finish line, whether you a single baby mama or not, then they get triggered. And instead of them taking responsibility or having a conversation based off of what I said, what they then do is then they try to turn it around on the man. Well, what about the man that started having babies? Well, what about you? Right? There is a time and a place to hold the man accountable. However, the time that we talking about right now, or the things that we talking about right now, is pertaining to you and your role in the destruction of the community, and more importantly, your life and the child's life that you in. What's up, B-Love? What's happening, baby girl? But Steve Harvey, right? So we all know to a larger extent, and I see you, Loud Wine. You said, what did Steve Harvey say that was wrong? He said that there is no requirement for a woman as far as bringing anything to the table. And then he did the exact same thing that women do. He turned it around and he said, what do you bring to the table? This is the absolute worst thing that you can possibly do as a man, is to look to be fulfilled from a woman. He then went on to say that a woman can enhance your life and all of this other type of stuff. And it's a bold-faced lie. It's a bold-faced lie. When I have conversations with people and couples individually, right, and then collectively, because I like to separate it. I like to find out what it is that he thinks without her sitting around, so that he ain't changing the way that he see things or the way that he communicates with me based off of her, and not worrying about, what she gonna say when they got to go to bed together, right? And then I do the same thing with her, right? And then collectively, what you'll start to find is that them being interdependent on each other is the problem, right? A man being interdependent on a woman for his happiness is quite possibly one of the worst things that you can do. It's the worst thing that you can do, is be interdependent on a woman as a man for your happiness, for your fulfillment, to depend on her for sex. As a matter of fact, I would say that you not caring as much as she thinks you should care about sex actually would warrant for you to have more sex and get more sex. You want to know why y'all sexless in y'all marriages? Because you care too much. You're too desperate. She can smell your desperation. Women often at times want men that other women want, just instinctively. It ain't even nothing that they can think about. It's not even something that they try to do. It's just inherently who they are, right? The fact that you too desperate, the fact that you ain't got enough going on, the fact that you're not busy, the fact that a lot of people ain't checking for you, the fact that you ain't got no business popping, the fact that you sitting at the crib and playing video games all day, every day, is one of the things that is turning her off. A lot of guys truly don't understand. We're going to mine this out today. We're going to mine this out all the way across the board. Shout out to everybody that's in it, kicking it with me for this spontaneous live stream, right? Guys are dumb. right? We're mindless zombies because we only pay attention to what it is that we see. We have tunnel vision. And we're dumb, not necessarily because we're dumb. We're dumb in the minds of a woman, right? And because most guys are simps, that actually plays negatively for him on a regular basis. And so what guys will say across the internet is, if I say, yo, you need to be busy, you need to be on your grind, you need to be investing in you, working, get out the house, stop working from home and letting her see so much of you all the time or whatever, so on and so forth. Absence will make the heart grow fonder. She'll start to yearn for you more and all of this other type of stuff. Instead of them paying attention and saying, okay, that makes sense. Why are you saying that to me? They say, well, at least I ain't out here cheating, or at least, if they say, well, a guy is always at the crib. Well, at least he ain't out there. You know where he at and all of this other type of stuff. That is the mindset of people that's operating out of desperation. That's the mindset of somebody that's operating in survival mode. That's the mindset of people that operate in duress. They don't understand that the best version of you is the best version of your family. The best version of you is the best version of her, right? She is largely going to be the beneficiary of your greatness. And more importantly, you become infinitely more attractive when you're busy, when you're winning, when you're desired by other people, when people are pulling on you and they're pulling on your time. She's going to naturally want more of you. She's going to become selfish as a result of it. She's going to be waiting at the door like a little puppy, and then you're going to have to give her some direction and a vision, and she's going to want to travel with you and all of this other type of stuff, right? It's a difference between being in a relationship or being in a marriage and being successfully married. And I often say that I don't even start dating, or I didn't even start dating until I got married. That's when the game began, right? That's when you had to start giving a vision. That's when you started to have to make her busy. That's when you have to start working even more on yourself and being even less available, because love is a sense of duty in a man's mind. And until she fully understands that, you have to train her in a sense to how it is that you operate, because the way that you start off is the way that you have to continue. And so when I hear people like Steve Harvey give dating advice or marriage advice, even though he's been twice divorced, I know he older, I know he the OG, and when he say women don't have to bring anything to the table, I know that he's giving you bad advice. Now let me qualify myself, right? For those of you that's not familiar, right? I've been married since I was 22 years old. I'm 41. I've been married almost 19 years, right? Successfully, blissfully, awesome. No problems, no issues. Ain't never had a fumble, but I operate in my masculinity. If anybody has ever seen the way that I deal with my chick, or how submissive she is, or how it is that we move around each other and how blissful she lives, it's the ideal relationship when it comes to how it is that you're supposed to be operating within your marriage, right? How you're supposed to be operating in a relationship. So when I see a guy that simps, that tells me that if that guy is not meeting the expectations based off of what she said or the premise that she found him in, the fact that he wind up getting the bag, or she continues to rock with guys that's for the bag, that if he ever fumbles for an extended period of time, I can't see that type of woman continuing to rock with him, because the only thing that she's thinking of is how it's affecting him or how it's affecting her, not how it is that it's affecting him, which ultimately is going to feed into what their greatness is going to be long term.